Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna talk about the M&P Shield Plus, and we're gonna be talking about or asking the question: is it still a relevant EDC carry or a top competitor in today's market, considering other options? Excuse me. So overall, my experience with the M&P Shield Plus has been pretty good. I didn't like how I had it previously set up. So this is actually like it's actually like bone stock other than the iron sights. But before I had like the TLR6 slide, and then I had a different slide on it that had a red dot. But I opted for just going with the stock slide with the three dot. I think it's like the X-ray 3RD sights or something like that. But these are some really good sights. I mean, these are like damn near just as good as having a red dot. Picking up that sight picture is super easy with that huge green dot in the front. And then again, I did have a TLR6 and I had a holster to go with it, but I ended up getting rid of the holster, getting rid of the TLR6. Reason being, I couldn't justify the TLR6 for the amount of space that it took up and how awkward it was carrying it, because it just felt like you're carrying a flat piece of sheet metal, a piece of square sheet metal in your pants. And for me, it didn't give enough lumens, or I guess it just didn't provide enough power for me to justify taking up that much space and having such an awkward, I guess, carry feel. Unlike, I can carry my Glock 45 with the TLR1 easier than I could carry this M&P Shield Plus with the TLR6. So it didn't work out. So I opted out just to not have a light in general. And generally, I carry my own light anyways, which you should be doing anyways. But regardless, it's always nice to have a weapon light, no matter what, even if you carry or don't carry a separate light. But that is the first point I was going to get to, which is the light. And I think it's probably the biggest thing that's holding this gun back from being probably like one of the best competitors in the micro carry industry. Because you get so much with this gun. I mean, you get a really nice trigger. You get a nice stipple package. You get a 10 and 13 round magazines. You get optics capability, and I'm sure you guys seen it. The gun is empty. Nothing in the chamber. They just came out with like a new carry comp, so like extended with like the compensator. And all of that is like super nice, but it just throws me off that they didn't put a rail on this. It kind of reminds me of like the Glock 26. Like, it has so much capability, so much ability, and all this aftermarket support, but they just can't. Why can't they just put a rail on it? Like the Glock 43X, like the SIG P365. There's so many lights out there for micro carries that work, and they put out a sufficient amount of lumens or candela to be able to justify the space they're taking up. But with the TLR6, the ratio of space it takes up to the amount of power it puts out, it's not, for me, it just wasn't worth it. I would rather just carry it stock and carry it comfortably and carry it with ease, rather than, carry just a flat piece of sheet metal that's like poking me in all directions, just to have a 100 lumen light on it. So yep, that's the way I wanted it to go. So when I took off the light, I realized that the red dot was just, and I'm not saying that this is the way you should carry it. You should carry it however you want. But for me, I just I preferred for this specific gun to carry it stock and with just night sights, and that's it. And I couldn't justify having a red dot up there, especially with these micro carries. The I think I had like a 407K or like 507K on here, and it was just the window was so small at the point that I was like lining up the red dot. I already had my iron sights lined up, so I was just like, I might as well just carry iron sights. Um, and it just made it more comfortable to carry. So this for this specific gun, and I'm not saying I'm gonna do like all my guns like that. No, like just this specific gun, I'm just opting for carrying it completely stock. I do have a holster coming in for it. The without the light bearing holster, just a regular holster. So I'm pretty excited to see, like, I guess compare the difference to when I was carrying the red dot and light to no red dot and no light, and see kind of like where that comfortability and if it makes a huge difference. So yeah, I wasn't. How can I say so? Yeah, I mean, I think the Smith and Wesson M&P Shield Plus has a lot going for it. I just think it just lacks in the rail department, and I think they would satisfy their customers even further if they just put a rail here. I mean, you could even see that they have the real estate for it if they just reshape this trigger guard, and you can see the dust cover is shorter than the actual slide, so they can extend it. And I don't know if you can see, but it's cut at an angle here, so they can just extend all of this and have it go straight down and over, and then add your rail there. They have the real estate for it, but I understand. This pistol has been around for more than a decade, including the M&P Shield, the first version. This is exactly that. The only thing that's changed is the trigger and the capacity. So all the holsters from the first version, they all work on this pistol. So I understand I guess the not wanting to put a rail on here, because it probably does change the compatibility with older holsters. But the market is just flooded with holster companies. Anybody would make a holster. If they came out with a new pistol that had a rail on it, the support would be there for it, because I feel like a lot of people would opt for this pistol. I think it's, in my opinion, other than the rail, I think it's better than most of the micro carries out there. I think it's better. I think it's better than the SIG. I think it's better than the Hellcat Pro. I don't know if it's better than the Glock 43X. Because I don't have a Glock 43X. I've never had one, but I would like to have one. Maybe in the near future I can compare them. But I don't know if it's better than the Glock 43X. But the size to capacity ratio is just so good. I mean, in such a small package, you get 13 rounds, and then also have a 10 rounder, and it's just extremely slim. And the shootability of this is so good. I mean, it recoils just like any other gun, any other micro carry, but I don't know, something about this one is a bit special. It's very accurate for the size. It doesn't. I'm not gonna say it doesn't recoil, but it does recoil. But it just feels a little bit less snappier than most other guns, like the regular P365 and the Hellcat Pro. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's the best for sure. Definitely not saying it's the best. Obviously, I already told you what it's lacking in, and then another thing it's lacking in is just front serrations, dog. Like, what is this? Why? Like, why even put that there if you're just not gonna take them all the way to the top? Like, I really don't understand that. Other than that, the texture is good. The quality is outstanding. The trigger's really good. Actually, I'll show you the trigger. So this is actually like a one-stage trigger. It's not like a Glock where it kind of, well, I would say the system is more similar to a Canic or whatchamacallit, a Walther, because actually a precock striker. So you just have some take up, and you hit a wall and pull. The only thing that makes it heavier, in my opinion, is I think that the striker spring for the striker is extremely heavy. And I think that's what makes this trigger a little bit, like, it just doesn't feel as like glass breakish as like the Canic or the Walther. But for a carry pistol, I think this is what you want. Let me show you guys let me see if I can show you guys the reset. Nope, couldn't do it. Well, I can't show you guys that because I'm only using one hand. So, but reset is really good. The trigger and the brake is really good. Other than that, it's a fantastic pistol. That I just feel like is just lacking. It's just lacking like a few things that could really take it to the next level. Now, if they added a rail, added front serrations, then I would opt for getting a red dot. Then I could justify putting a red dot on here. But at that point, when you don't have either or, I just don't even see why put a red dot. I mean, at this point, this is just like a kind of like a dedicated stock gun that, this is like what I would just carry on me like all the time. So, so that I don't have to carry like a full-size gun all the time. This is what I would carry with shorts on days where I need to like, like fully conceal. Like if I'm, tucking in my shirt or things like that, So is this gun perfect? Absolutely not. Does it have a purpose? For me, in my life, it does have a purpose. I kind of had to find a purpose for it, after adding all those gadgets, and then it just not working out for me. It just didn't even have a purpose. Like it wasn't good enough for concealed carry, and it also wasn't good enough for like a home defense or like, I don't know, EDC type, because it was just uncomfortable. And the performance with the red dot and the light just wasn't really there. So did it have a purpose then? I couldn't find one, but it does have a purpose now. And I guess I'm glad to have it. I mean, it's just it's a nice gun. And it's just one of those guns, it's going to go bang every time. So yeah, that's all I had for you guys today. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this Shield Plus and its pros and its cons. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.